Well, hello there. Some of you know that I've posted that I've been podcasting pretty hard lately, and I had to get my thoughts down. In the true fashion of podcasting, I'm doing that by audio file. So I saw a post by someone on Reddit, and let's face it, all good stories start with, oh, I saw something on Reddit. And it was about compensation for the company that I'm involved with, the MLM company that I'm involved with. And I took a look at the post, and the guy who created it said down in his comments, I was listening to this podcast and I ended up listening to the whole season. And so it got me curious about compensation. And out of all the MLMs I researched, this company is the only one that published their compensation. And so I recognized it as my company, and I thought, yeah, I'm involved with a pretty open, honest, transparent company. And so I went to the podcast or that he referenced, and I fell down a rabbit hole. I got sucked in. I'm sure some of you out there are in the same boat as me. You get sucked in and you end up listening to things and YouTube, podcasts, whatever. And I got sucked in. And I started listening and ended up listening to pretty much the whole season, which was 11 episodes. And it's basically a podcast about MLMs. And it's a podcast where the host has a number of different formats. She'll have people on there, experts, people from the business world. She's had her friend actually join an MLM so that she can give her feedback about what it's actually like. She's had people call in and leave messages who have been involved in MLMs. And so I was fascinated. I wanted to hear what people had to say because I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I was someone who never ever thought I would do something other than my job teaching because that's what I trained to do. That's what I went to school for. And so I was really fascinated to see the other side. But then again, I've been on the other side. I've had plenty of friends who have side businesses, people who use things like Facebook and Instagram and the social media platforms to spread the word, to invite their friends to, online parties or physical parties, to share their passion, to share what they're excited about. And so I wanted to just kind of expose myself because now that I am involved in one, I kind of want to go back to the other side. I want to see what people are saying and thinking. I remember, before I even decided to join the company that I'm involved with, I was a user of their particular products for years, actually. And for years on Facebook, I would see various friends, people I went to high school with, people who were already involved with the company. And I always thought to myself, that looks awesome. I would kind of like to do that, but I just don't think I can. I don't think I have the time. I don't really know what's involved financially. That part kind of grew on me as I kind of found out some more information. And then I saw other friends who were involved in different companies, and it was how do they get involved, and that takes some courage and whatnot. And I just kind of watched. I watched for years from the sidelines of, hey, what exactly is involved. I'm just afraid that I will not give it my all, that I'll invest and then, just kind of get bored or walk away or, fail. I mean, that's really the big concern of some people is that you're going to fail. So I started listening to this podcast and listened to the whole season. And it got to the point where the host had her friend join a company. And she went through what, tends to be kind of the obligatory things when you join a company and you kind of have a launch and you host a party. And she had reached out to people and she said that it became really awkward because a lot of her friends didn't respond and a lot of her friends didn't know how to act around her at this point. And, it just kind of created an awkward environment. And I thought, I never really thought about that. I just happen to be someone who doesn't find it awkward. I've had friends from high school that I haven't spoken to in 20 years. I've seen they've done businesses and stuff, and they've reached out to me, and sometimes I'm actually interested in what they have to offer, and if I'm in a position to support them, I generally do if it's something that I think I'll like. And I've had friends where I've told them, oh, I'm sorry, just not really interested, but best of luck. And so I just don't, I never really had that awkward element when other people have approached me, but I can certainly see how some people would. Everyone has different personalities and different interpretations and of how relationships should go and whatnot. And so she talked about that on the podcast, and I thought, sure, I could understand that. And then there was one episode that really got to me because she had people call in who had been involved in MLMs. And I have to say, I got sucked down the rabbit hole because I wanted to hear what they had to say about my particular company. I wanted to hear, the naysayers. I wanted to hear the negatives. And in all 11 episodes, they didn't broach the company I'm involved in at all. I obviously have my own interpretation of why that is, simply because, I am part of a very reputable company, very transparent, a company that has a guarantee, not only for products for purchase, but for the consultants, for investors. And I'm involved in a company where we're not stocking inventory. We're not, I've seen a lot of companies where the consultants are expected to buy the inventory at wholesale price and then sell for retail. I don't have the space in my house. Honestly, I don't know where I would stock stuff. I think my husband would be extremely irritated if I had boxes or a closet full of things. That was one of the main reasons I got started, was because my responsibility was pretty minimal. I wasn't required to have, a minimum amount to stay active, or I would get kicked out or let go. I mean, the stories people called in with about some of these MLMs were shocking. It made me sad because I happen to really love the company I'm involved with. They are a great company. There's a reason that they're breaking records and that they're soaring through glass ceilings, because it's a great company. And what makes me sad is that there's a bunch of MLMs out there that have just tainted the market, whether it's through their business model, whether it's through their leadership. And it makes me sad because then the really good ones get lost in the shuffle. And so people had called in that had literally, this one woman had invested $25,000, completely gone and lost. And at that point, I just start getting a little irritated with the people, because you think, what happened? And she even admitted, well, I invested $5,000 here and I didn't even know what I was selling. And then they said, well, you should invest $5,000 more. And so I did. And I thought, how are you investing that much money and you don't even know what you're selling? So I, start to question, like, where are people's red flags? Like, what is not clicking in their brains of, hey, I need to stop this. This isn't working out. And I just think it's this culture that was created about the American dream of, hey, you can be wealthy and you can, you can stop working and replace your salary. I never I never got involved with the company that I'm involved with because I wanted to replace my salary. I happen to love my job, but I certainly know there are people out there that do not love their jobs, that they are looking for a way out. But the American dream isn't about getting rich quick. The American dream is about, using your ingenuity, using your passions, working hard, and great things can happen. We live in an era where there are shows like Shark Tank, and, you have people come on and they have these heartwarming stories of, like, I gave it my all. I quit my job and I mortgaged my house and this is my last shot. And one of the sharks comes in and says, I'll invest $2 million in you. These are very rare cases, but it's exciting. We are excited to live in a country where we have these opportunities. that we have capitalism, to be quite fair, that we can create additional streams of income. And so I ended up listening to the entire podcast, and there were just some pretty frightening stories. And all I could think was, some of these people, I just thought, oh my gosh, why? Why didn't the red flags go up? Why did they keep investing money? I don't like to talk about money because it's kind of a gauche topic, but in my particular instance, I'll be a little transparent. I invested double digits, literally. I had the option of investing more, but I've never been a gambler, and I invested double digits, so very nominal amount. And last year, I'm about to actually do my taxes here. Last year, my income from my investment was in the 4 digits. And so, again, I haven't lost money. I've actually made money. I haven't turned away my friends and family, I hope. Correct me if I'm wrong. And it's just been a great experience for a variety of other reasons that I know I've talked about before. But it just makes me sad that there are some really unfortunate stories out there, that there are some companies out there that just were mishandled or mismanaged, and unfortunately people got sucked in and they fell under that umbrella of investing and losing, and that's unfortunately also part of the American experience. And so I just wanted to, I wanted to get on here and just spill my thoughts out, because your friends that are involved in MLMs, whether you've talked to them last week or whether you've talked to them 20 years ago in high school, there are a lot of reasons that people get involved with this. And I've talked about that in other posts as well. There are a lot of reasons why people get involved with it. At the end of the day, people are trying to get by. People are trying to do the best they can, whether it's for themselves, whether it's for their significant other, whether it's for their children, their entire family. And so, again, it's always have that motto, be kind, because you don't know exactly what's going on. And there is a way to be gracious to people. If you're not interested in what they have to say, just be polite and tell them that. But I don't know. I just had so many thoughts after listening to this. I'm grateful that I made the decision that I did. I'm grateful I'm not one of those scary stories. Again, I never had the intention of replacing my salary. Now, when that happens, if that happens, that would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. I think that I would be able to do an awful lot for my family with that, additional stream of income. But for right now, I have a number of things that I'm focusing on, and my business is one of them. I am serious about my business. I enjoy it. But I also know that, I'm not going to shove it down people's throats and whatnot. And so I would say we need a revamp. We need to understand what works and what doesn't work. And so I'm just wanted to get on here and just throw my thoughts out. So anyway, that's basically all I have to say. I fell down the rabbit hole. I got sucked in, listened to this entire podcast, and I was so sad afterward, just so sad for some of the people that unfortunately got involved with companies that really didn't have a great model. And but it's one of those cliches, you live and you learn. So anyways, that's it for me. I'm going to go check out some podcasts that you guys recommended yesterday. I love Rachel Hollis. I love Tony Robbins. Just any individual that just gets you pumped up and, gets you thinking about the best that you can be, the best that you can offer in life. Anyways, have a great day. Bye.